Hey there, guys. Danny here. Welcome to my ramblings. I want to talk to you tonight about being alone. Um, I'm a loner. Self self-proclaimed loner, and I love it. There's not a lot of drama. There's not a lot of anything. You just go through your life and it's peaceful. But what I want to talk to you tonight about, sorry I haven't been here. I've been dealing with a lot of crap. I got a car, and I'm off tonight and tomorrow because the car's at the shop. It's a used one. It didn't have a radio, so the radio was part of the contract, so they finally got the radio in. It finally came in, and so they're gonna put it in tomorrow. Anyways, so I've been working a lot. Almost lost the RV. They were done dealing with me. Because, well, I have to keep sticking money into that old car, and then I have to figure out how I'm getting another car. So, money-wise, was very, very tight. I fell behind. Not the first time. Doesn't really matter. They don't want it back. That's the biggest thing that people don't understand is if you have a secured loan, they don't want it back. They're not going to make as much money off of it. The car's going to be a hell of a lot less. They're going to sell it, and then you're going to have to deal with the craziness. Most people just file bankruptcy. No big deal. But, excuse me, but they were tired of dealing with me. That's pretty much what they told me. And then I had a family thing that I had to take care of, and had an argument with a lady on the phone, and then a couple of days later they wanted to deal with me. So we've salvaged it yet again. The truth is they don't want it back. I don't want to give it back. But if that's what they wanted to do because they were done dealing with me, I really don't have the say about it. I can't force them to work with me. But that's okay. They want to play hardball with it. Let them play hardball with it. It's not the first time that I've had to deal with that. I'm not pleased with credit unions at this point. We've now switched over to real banks. We are done with credit unions. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you about being alone. And I got a laptop. So I've been kind of screwing myself on sleep because I've been spending a little extra time working on getting my book together. And working a lot to get caught up so then I didn't lose the RV. And I'm supposed to only work on the book for a small amount of time each day, but I'd get into it and then I'd just forget time, and then I'd be like, oh crap, it's 3 a.m. I gotta go to bed, I gotta get up and go to work. So we are off tonight and tomorrow during the day because the car is now at the shop so they can fix the radio. And that's the last thing that they got to fix on it, and then we're good to go. Anyways, I got to thinking about it, and I thought, I want to have a conversation about being alone. I personally don't understand why a lot of people have a problem being alone. Like living alone, not going out and doing things with people, like just being with yourself. I don't understand it because I need my alone time. I call it me time. I need my me time. It's my time to recharge, reconnect with God and the universe, and just recharge my batteries to go out and deal with the craziness and the noise of the earth and the world. So, I've never quite understood people who don't like to be alone. And I know a lot of people that don't. Um, but I don't see those people working to do anything to change that situation. If you don't like being alone, then why aren't you fixing something in you so you don't have to be alone? Here's what I taught my kids. I said, how can you go out on a date with somebody and expect them to like you if you don't even like your own self? I said, take yourself out to dinner. Take yourself to a movie. I said, spend time with yourself alone. If you do not like yourself, how can you expect another human being to like you? You don't even like you. So how's another human being going to like you? You have to get to know yourself and you have to like yourself. This is why I talk all the time about learning to love yourself, find your true authentic self, and energetically leveling up. Because honestly, how can you expect somebody else to want to be around you if you don't even like your own self? The problem with learning to love yourself and be your true authentic self is people get jealous of it. And the people that get jealous of it are the ones that want that. They just don't want to do all the work that is necessary so then they can have that. And so they have to sabotage and they have to make you feel bad about yourself. Here's the thing though. When you love yourself and you are walking in your true authentic self and you have energetically leveled up, energetically as in you're on your walk with the man upstairs, you need nobody else's validation. So when people try to drag you down and cut you down, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work because you have to value, in order for somebody to cut you down, you have to value their opinion. And if you don't value them because you don't know them or you don't have a relationship with them or they've been cruel or mean, then nothing they say or do can harm you. Because the honest to God truth is it can only harm you if you value what they're saying. You value their opinion. And when you learn to love yourself and find your true authentic self, you don't care about other people's opinions. Their opinions are irrelevant. Their opinions. And the reason that people's opinions of me are irrelevant is because I'm doing my thing with the man upstairs. My whole life has been me pursuing goals that I made when I was like 12 or 13. A list that I had made that I wanted to accomplish in my lifetime. And life has happened around it, and I've had obstacles, and I've fallen on my face thousands of fucking times. I don't look at failure like everybody else does. Failure to me is, okay, I failed at this, but what can I learn from this so when I do it next time, I do it better? I don't look at failure as in, oh my God, I'm such an awful person. Failure to me is literally, okay, what did I do wrong? What can I change to make sure that I can do better next time? Failure is just a lesson. It's not a place for you to stay down in. But you're not taught that. Your preconditioning keeps you stuck in failure means loser. Failure does not mean loser. 90% of all of your rich people who got rich on their own failed several times. That's how they got where they're at. They've had to fail. They've had to learn the lessons as you grow. Problem is we stay wallowing in there. When you're in your true authentic self and you love yourself, you don't care what other people think. You don't even care if you fall on your face and they judge it. Because you want to know what? It's not about them. It's about me and my walk with him. It's about me heading to what I'm setting up. I'm breaking every freaking generational curse that was passed down to me because families, my families couldn't communicate. It was so dysfunctional and toxic in many ways that was ending with me. Myself and my children were going to grow up not knowing any of that. They know about what happened, some of it, but they weren't going to have to live in that type of dysfunction and toxicity. Not that I was perfect, there was dysfunction, and there was times where there were issues that the kids had to witness and deal with, but they were very limited, and I always kept an open line of communication with them as much as I could about everything. And that would have been with the second ex-husband before he had disappeared because, well, he ended up on drugs, which we didn't know at the time. I've never done anything other than marijuana or alcohol, so I don't know what any of that other stuff is. And the reason that I haven't done anything else, honestly, is literally because I don't like to be out of control of my mind. I want to be in control of my mind. I have to be in control of my mind. That's just how I've always felt. That's why I've never gotten into it. And so I just want to talk to you about the alone thing, because so many people are sad and terrified of being alone. But if you don't even like yourself, how can you expect somebody else to like you? I don't comprehend it. But I'm starting to realize, so a lot of things that I said and did as I was getting older in adulthood, I'm starting to see that a lot of people's eyes are starting to open up to the things. So I'm starting to see that people are okay with being alone now. Not everybody. Mostly people around me that I know that don't like to be alone. But that's their problem, not mine. Because I can't fix anybody. I can only fix me. I don't have the ability to fix another human being. Neither do you. We only have the ability to fix ourselves. And let me explain. I have shared with you in the past about my arrest in 2019 over Christmas. If you want to know about that, go back and watch the video. It's a couple years old now at this point, I think. Anyways, I had ended up staying with my mother. My mother had, in 2015, just before Thanksgiving, my mother had a severe stroke. She had atrial fibrillation. And she had a severe stroke. We didn't know for a day or two if she was even going to survive it. And she did, and I took care of her during that 3 months time. I took care of her, and she got better. She got much better, and that built us. We got a little closer after that. I still couldn't fully let her close to me because she was still part of my brother's life, and my brother is a very manipulative and controlling. He's an addict. And then in 2019, after my arrest, I stayed with my mother for, I think about 2 or 3 months. And then I came back out here. During that 2 or 3 months after my arrest, that was the first time in my whole entire life that my mother had ever been so gentle with me. And it was exactly what I needed. And then a little over a year later, she ended up with stage 4 stomach cancer, and I had to go back home and take care of her. And it wasn't taking care of her that was hard. I mean, that was stressful. There's a lot that goes into it, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally and everything else, because the person's dying, and that's a hard place to be. But the biggest problem was having to deal with all the drama that came with the family. And I didn't want to have to deal with that. Oops, sorry. I didn't want to have to deal with that. I got a crazy dog over here. Anyways, so at this point, when I went back to take care of her, as she got closer to the end of her life, her true self started coming out, and her and my brother would get very mean. They would gang up like they did when I was a child. And if looks could kill, I would have been dead as a child. If looks could have killed at that time, I would have been dead too. But at that point when it was happening, it didn't affect me like it did before. All I thought to myself was, You people are very sick. You did this to a child. I'm no longer a child. You can't affect me like you did before. And all I thought was that poor little girl. And then when my mother passed, I mourned. I mourned for quite a while. I mean, I still do here and there, but not like I did before. But the biggest problem was I felt like at the end of her life, it was a big fuck you to me. Because she knew she was dying. Why would you spend the last bit of time that you had on earth being cruel to one of your children? It just didn't make sense to me. And I would continue to look at it this way for a while. But the one thing that happened after she passed was I was free. I didn't see it. I was in mourning. I was grieving. I was free. I was free from any of the toxicity, any of the drama. I was free. And for a long time, I looked at that end as it was the biggest fuck you with how I was treated at the end. But as time progressed, and probably over the last, I don't know, year or so, I've really begun to look at it as it was a big blessing in disguise. Because prior to her passing, because she was my mother, she wasn't married, she didn't have anybody that was going to take care of her. My brother is useless with that shit, even though that's what he does for a living. Ironic, right? Anyways, I knew that I was going to have to take care of her. Nobody else was going to do it. And I knew I would have to. And I'm okay. I was okay with that. And I didn't do it for anything other than really it was because after she passed, if I didn't help at the end like that, it would have eaten me up inside for the rest of my life. I knew that I had to do it so then I could move on and live a healthy, happy life. Although I was going through all the craziness. But it ended up being a blessing in disguise, and I couldn't see it for the longest time. I stayed focused and stuck in that mentality that it was the biggest fuck you. Because when you come from a manipulative, controlling mom, you always hope that at some point they will see you and give you an apology for how they treated you. It's a hope that you hold on to. What I couldn't see was her death meant I was free. And I was busy. I had to take out a couple loans. I mean, I got really far in debt when she died, when I was taking care of her. So I was cleaning up from that. And then a year later, my aunt died. And then a year after that, I had my car accident. And I've just spent all the time digging myself out of all of this mess that I've been in since she passed. But now that I'm getting myself back up out of this mess financially, now that I have a decent, dependable car and I'm able to start actually working and making money and getting ahead, I'm realizing that it was all a blessing in disguise. Because I'm free. I'm totally free. And although at the time when her and my brother treated me the way that they did when I was a child, it brought up those old feelings of that little girl who I was when I was that young. But the truth was, it was a blessing in disguise because I remember sitting there going through all of it and just thinking to myself, I'm not the one that was fucked up. I wasn't the rebellious one. I wasn't the disrespectful one. I know that. Here are two grown fucking adults and one is dying. And you guys did this to a child. I'm not a child anymore while they were doing it. And all I could look at it as was, wow, that poor little girl. And as I've grown over the past almost 4 years that she's been gone, I can honestly tell you that I wasn't the problem. And since she's been gone, I've had freedom. Mind you, I'm talking about being alone, and I love being alone. I'm the self-proclaimed loner. I love it. Problem is, I was hellbent. I was sabotaging myself because I was hellbent on making sure I did it on my own. I wanted nobody to help me. I wanted nothing. I wanted to do it on my own. I wanted to be able to say that I succeeded in life and nobody gave me a handout or a hand up. That's what I wanted. But I overlooked people in my life that were able and willing to help. Why? Because I was still processing. I was still processing everything. I was trying to comfort that little girl. And I did. She's now free. I'm free. We live a great life. And I'm still the loner. I still like being alone. But I'm becoming a little bit more social now. Now that I have finally realized that it was all a blessing in disguise. It made me more resilient. It honestly made me 100% made me say, I don't want to be that. That's why I turned out different. That's why I didn't wallow in self-pity. That's why I didn't get into some of the things that people come from a woman like I came from do, because I didn't want to be her. I wanted to be everything she wasn't in my eyes. And as a child, I didn't know what that was. And so I navigated life as best I could. I joke with everybody that I grew up with my children, because I had my first when I was 18 and my second one when I was 20. I mean, they're a year and a half apart. So I was young, no regrets. At the time, it was very, very hard. But no regrets now. And when I look at my adult children, I know that I did something right. They're strong. They got a good head on their shoulders. And they take no crap from anybody. And they're kind and they're loving. So I did something right. But I'm going to tell you that it was a blessing in disguise, because it made me resilient. It made me have to go inside of myself and find my own strength. That strength came from him. Every time I didn't know where my strength was going to come from, every time I thought that life was going to slam me on the ground and I didn't know how I was going to handle this, it felt like the world was going to explode and I just can't keep going on. Every single time I looked up to him and I said, I can't do this. I don't know what to do. I don't have the strength. You have to help me. You have to give me the strength and help me get through this. I can't do this on my own. I don't know where to go. And I just keep moving. And he'd send people my way. He'd send things my way. He'd let me know in his own little way. And what I've discovered since she's passed is that my relationship with the man upstairs became the most important thing in my life. I thought I was isolating myself at first, but I really wasn't. You have to isolate yourself. You have to get one-on-one with the man upstairs. You have to know how to communicate with him. And part of that is being alone. Once you start communicating with them, being alone is really easy because you're not alone. I'm never alone. Never, ever, ever alone. Not only do I have my animals, but he's with me all the time. I talk to him all the time. All the time. And I'm finding that I'm enjoying life way more than I ever have in my whole life. I'm enjoying everything. I honestly, now that I'm able to get back to work and do the things that I love, I'm overflowing with joy. And I just want to have a conversation with you about being alone. If you don't even like yourself alone, how can you, if you don't even like yourself, you don't even like being with yourself, then how can you expect somebody else to be with you? You can't. That's crazy. Isolation is going to bring you closer to him. You have to sit in, they call it, the Bible and everybody else calls it prayer. I just talk to him. Something good happens, I look up and thank him. I talk to him regularly. If you put a video camera in my place while I'm going about my day-to-day life, you'd see how often I talk to him. I do in my car too. Hell, I don't even care if people are around. Something good happens, I look up to the sky, I don't care who the hell's around, I'm like, thank you. Because he gave me freedom. He gave me everything that I needed to get through the last almost 4 years. And I couldn't have made it through without him. It's all because of him. And I am now overflowing with joy, and I feel more alive now than I ever have in my life. And which is funny because I'm 52 years old. And the things that I have planned for my future are not things that 52-year-olds do. These are things that people in their 20s and 30s would do because they're still young and you know, have dreams. But I'm 52 and I'm going to do it all. So stick with me. I'll show you as we go what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to drag you along with me for it. Give me a bit of time. Be patient with me on my videos. I know I've been slacking a lot, but I'm working on the book and I'm working a lot of hours now that I should be fully caught up on everything at the end of this month. So 2026 is the year. I will be definitely coming back on and being consistent here. I should have the book out sometime in the first or second month of the year, along with the second and third one coming right behind that. But I want to take you on my journey of what I'm doing and what my plans are. But I'm not giving you a heads up on what it is. I'm just going to take you along so you can enjoy the joy that comes from me as I go on this journey. Anyways, if you're alone and you don't like to be, have a conversation with him. He'll get you to joy and feeling alive again. Anyways, guys, I'm going to let you go with that. I hope you have a great night. Love ya. Bye.